Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the greatest footballers the world has ever seen. A player who is now chasing something that no footballer in history has officially achieved: 1,000 career goals. Think about that for a second. Go back through the history of football and look at every legendary goal scorer this sport has ever produced. You'll find players with 700 goals, some with over 800, a few who even crossed the 900 mark. But officially, not a single player has reached 1,000 career goals, and Cristiano Ronaldo is getting closer to that milestone with every passing season. He's already the highest goal scorer in international football history. The UEFA Champions League's all-time leading goal scorer, its all-time leading assist provider, and the player with the most official goals ever scored in the history of football. But what makes Cristiano Ronaldo's story even more remarkable is this: he has scored more goals after turning 30 than he scored before turning 30. Just think about that for a moment. Most footballers begin to slow down once they reach their 30s. Ronaldo became even better. Go and check it yourself. You'll hardly find another player in football history who has achieved something like this. Today, millions of people around the world look up to Cristiano Ronaldo, not just because of his goals or his trophies, but because of the mentality that made all of it possible. Season after season, year after year, he kept pushing himself beyond every limit. He transformed his body. He adapted his playing style. He evolved with every stage of his career. And that's exactly why he managed to stay at the top of world football for more than 2 decades. From Sporting CP to Manchester United, Real Madrid, Juventus, and now Al Nassr, Cristiano Ronaldo has conquered every challenge that stood in his way. But who is Cristiano Ronaldo beyond the records? Was he always destined to become one of football's greatest players? Did he really start his career as a midfielder? Was he always a striker? Or did he completely reinvent himself as a footballer over the years? Today, we're going to answer all of those questions. We'll uncover the biggest myths surrounding Cristiano Ronaldo's career. We'll explore how he transformed himself into one of the greatest athletes the sport has ever seen. And we'll follow every step of the incredible journey that turned a young boy from the small island of Madeira into one of football's greatest legends. Some of these moments you may already know, but I can almost guarantee you'll discover something new by the end of this video. So make sure you stick around until the very end, because this is the complete story of Cristiano Ronaldo. Because every legend has a beginning, long before the sold-out stadiums, the Ballon d'Or trophies, the Champions League triumphs, and the records that seemed impossible to break. Cristiano Ronaldo was just a young boy growing up on the small Portuguese island of Madeira. He was born on February 5, 1985, in the city of Funchal as the youngest of 4 children. His family lived a modest life, and money was always in short supply. Every day was a struggle to make ends meet, and luxuries were something the family simply couldn't afford. His father, José Dini Savero, worked as a kit man for a local football club called Andorinha. His mother, Maria Dolores, worked tirelessly as a cook and cleaner, doing everything she could to support the family. Years later, Dolores made a deeply personal revelation. During her pregnancy, overwhelmed by financial hardship and already raising 3 children, she feared she couldn't provide for another baby. But fate had a different plan, and Cristiano Ronaldo entered the world, a moment that would eventually change football forever. Growing up wasn't easy. The family faced constant financial pressure, and Ronaldo watched his parents work tirelessly just to keep food on the table. Those experiences shaped him from a very young age, teaching him that if he wanted a better future, he would have to earn it himself. Fortunately, he had already found something that made him forget every hardship: football. Whenever Ronaldo had a ball at his feet, the rest of the world disappeared. He played before school, he played after school, he played in the streets, on empty fields, and anywhere there was enough space to kick a football. What began as childhood fun quickly became an obsession. Winning mattered to him more than anything else. Even as a young boy, losing a game often brought him to tears. That fierce competitive spirit, which would later define his entire career, was already beginning to emerge. It didn't take long for local coaches to recognize his extraordinary talent. He wasn't just faster than other children his age. He wasn't just more skillful. He also possessed an incredible determination to improve every single day. His reputation continued to grow. Before long, one of Portugal's most famous academies came calling. His performances earned him a place at Nacional, one of Madeira's biggest clubs, where his sporting CP wanted the young prodigy from Madeira. For Ronaldo, it was the opportunity he had always dreamed of. But it came at a price. At just 12 years old, he had to leave his home, his family, and everything familiar behind to move nearly 1,000 kilometers away to Lisbon. It was the first major sacrifice of his life. The transition was far from easy. He missed his family. He missed his home. There were moments when the loneliness became almost unbearable. But every time he thought about giving up, he reminded himself why he had made the journey in the first place. He hadn't come to Lisbon simply to play football. He had come to become the best. Every training session became another chance to move one step closer to that dream. And slowly, the coaches at Sporting realized they were developing a very special talent. But just as everything seemed to be falling into place, an unexpected setback threatened to end his football journey before it had truly begun. During a routine medical examination, doctors discovered that Ronaldo was suffering from tachycardia, a condition that caused his heart to beat abnormally fast. For a young athlete, it was frightening news. Without treatment, continuing to play football could have put his health and his future in serious danger. At only 15 years old, Ronaldo underwent surgery to correct the condition. Thankfully, the procedure was a complete success. Within a short time, he was back on the training pitch, chasing the dream he had refused to abandon. Looking back today, it's remarkable to think how close football came to losing Cristiano Ronaldo before the world even knew his name. But this was only the beginning. The greatest challenge of his career still lay ahead, because the next step would introduce a skinny teenager from Madeira to the biggest stage of his young life. By the age of 17, Cristiano Ronaldo had progressed through every level of Sporting CP's academy. His incredible pace. It was only a matter of time before he was given his opportunity. During the 2002 to 2003 season, Ronaldo made his first team debut for Sporting CP. Although he was still just a teenager, he played with a confidence far beyond his years. He wasn't afraid to take on defenders, attempt difficult skills, or express himself with the ball at his feet. Every appearance seemed to reveal something new. His acceleration left defenders chasing shadows. His quick feet created space where none seemed to exist. And his confidence made him stand out every time he stepped onto the pitch. Word about the young winger began spreading across Europe. Scouts from some of the continent's biggest clubs started following his progress closely. Several teams admired his potential, believing he had everything needed to become a future superstar. But nobody could have predicted how quickly his life was about to change. In August 2003, Sporting CP played a friendly match against Manchester United to celebrate the opening of their new stadium. For most people, it was simply another pre-season game. For Cristiano Ronaldo, it became the biggest night of his young career. From the opening whistle, he attacked Manchester United's defense with complete confidence. Every time he received the ball, he ran directly at his marker. He dribbled past defenders, created chances, won fouls, and forced the English champions onto the back foot. The Manchester United players couldn't believe what they were witnessing. This wasn't an experienced international. This wasn't an established superstar. It was an 18-year-old teenager playing with absolutely no fear. By the final whistle, Ronaldo had stolen the show. As the Manchester United players returned to the dressing room, many of them reportedly had the same message for their manager. "We have to sign this kid." Sir Alex Ferguson had already heard about Ronaldo before that evening, but watching him perform in person removed every remaining doubt. Manchester United acted quickly. Within days, An agreement had been reached with Sporting CP. The transfer fee was around £12 million, making Ronaldo the most expensive teenager in English football at the time. It was a huge investment for such a young player, but Ferguson believed he was signing someone truly special. When Ronaldo arrived at Old Trafford, another surprise was waiting for him. Manchester United offered him the famous number 7 shirt. It wasn't an ordinary squad number. It was a number worn by club legends such as George Best, Brian Robson, Eric Cantona, and David Beckham. Ronaldo was shocked. He didn't think he was ready to carry such responsibility. He even asked for a different number, but Sir Alex Ferguson refused.
But instead of backing down, Ronaldo welcomed the challenge. He quickly became one of the most exciting young players in England. Fans loved his confidence, his stepovers, his explosive pace, and his willingness to take on defenders one against one. Whenever he received the ball, supporters rose from their seats expecting something special. But despite all the excitement, not everyone was impressed. Many football pundits believed Ronaldo was trying too many tricks. They argued that he held on to the ball for too long, that he focused more on entertaining than producing results. Even some of his teammates occasionally became frustrated when promising attacks ended with an unsuccessful dribble. Sir Alex Ferguson understood exactly what his young winger was going through. Instead of asking Ronaldo to stop expressing himself, he encouraged him to become smarter. The message was simple. Keep your creativity, but learn when to use it. Know when to dribble, know when to pass, and know when to finish the move yourself. It was advice that would shape the rest of Ronaldo's career. Away from the pitch, another transformation was taking place. Ronaldo realized that natural talent alone would never make him the best player in the world. He became obsessed with improving every part of his game. He spent extra hours in the gym building strength. He worked relentlessly on his balance and acceleration. He practiced free kicks after training. He improved his weaker foot. He refined his heading ability. Every weakness became another target for improvement. While many players were satisfied once training had ended, Ronaldo's work was only beginning. His dedication soon started producing results. He became stronger, quicker, more decisive, and far more effective in front of goal. The flashy teenager was slowly evolving into a complete footballer. His performances continued to improve with every season. More goals, more assists, more confidence, and more responsibility. The supporters at Old Trafford were beginning to realize they weren't simply watching another talented youngster. They were witnessing the rise of a future superstar. But Ronaldo's biggest test was still to come, because in the summer of 2004, his home country would host one of the biggest tournaments in world football. For an ambitious 19-year-old, it was the perfect opportunity to announce himself on the international stage, and Cristiano Ronaldo was determined not to let that opportunity slip away. The summer of 2004 marked one of the most important moments of Cristiano Ronaldo's young career. For the first time in history, Portugal had the opportunity to host the UEFA European Championship. The entire nation dreamed of lifting the trophy on home soil, and for an ambitious 19-year-old winger, it was the perfect stage to prove he belonged among the very best. Although Ronaldo had only recently broken into the national team, he played with remarkable confidence. He wasn't intimidated by the occasion. He embraced it. Every time Portugal attacked, he demanded the ball. He ran fearlessly at defenders, created chances, and brought energy to a team filled with experienced stars. His first major tournament goal came in the opening match against Greece. Despite Portugal suffering a disappointing defeat, Ronaldo's performance showed the world that a new generation of Portuguese football had arrived. As the tournament progressed, his influence continued to grow. Portugal defeated England in a dramatic quarter-final that was decided by a penalty shootout. Ronaldo confidently converted his penalty, helping his country move one step closer to the final. The dream was becoming reality. Victories over England and the Netherlands sent Portugal into the European Championship final for the very first time. The entire country believed history was about to be made. Standing between Portugal and the trophy was Greece once again. Football can often be unpredictable. Despite entering the match as overwhelming favorites, Portugal struggled to break down the disciplined Greek defense. A single goal proved to be enough. When the final whistle blew, Greece had completed one of the greatest upsets in football history. Portugal's dream had slipped away. As the celebrations began around him, Cristiano Ronaldo collapsed to the ground in tears. The image of the young winger crying after the final became one of the defining moments of Euro 2004. It was a painful lesson. Talent alone didn't guarantee success. Sometimes football could be cruel. But even in defeat, Ronaldo had achieved something incredibly important. The world had taken notice. He was selected in the team of the tournament. Fans across Europe now knew exactly who Cristiano Ronaldo was. And although Portugal had fallen just short of glory, Ronaldo left the competition with something even more valuable: belief. He now understood that he belonged on football's biggest stages. Returning to Manchester United, he was no longer simply a promising youngster. He had become one of the most exciting young players in world football. Yet Sir Alex Ferguson believed there was still another level waiting to be unlocked. The skills were already there. The speed was undeniable. The confidence was obvious. Now it was time to turn potential into greatness. And that transformation was about to begin. The summer of 2004 marked one of the most important moments of Cristiano Ronaldo's young career. For the first time in history, Portugal had the opportunity to host the UEFA European Championship. The entire nation dreamed of lifting the trophy on home soil, and for an ambitious 19-year-old winger, it was the perfect stage to prove he belonged among the very best. Although Ronaldo had only recently broken into the national team, he played with remarkable confidence. He wasn't intimidated by the occasion. He embraced it. Every time Portugal attacked, he demanded the ball. He ran fearlessly at defenders, created chances, and brought energy to a team filled with experienced stars. His first major tournament goal came in the opening match against Greece. Despite Portugal suffering a disappointing defeat, Ronaldo's performance showed the world that a new generation of Portuguese football had arrived. As the tournament progressed, his influence continued to grow. Portugal defeated England in a dramatic quarter-final that was decided by a penalty shootout. Ronaldo confidently converted his penalty, helping his country move one step closer to the final. The dream was becoming reality. Victories over England and the Netherlands sent Portugal into the European Championship final for the very first time. The entire country believed history was about to be made. Standing between Portugal and the trophy was Greece once again. Football can often be unpredictable. Despite entering the match as overwhelming favorites, Portugal struggled to break down the disciplined Greek defense. A single goal proved to be enough. When the final whistle blew, Greece had completed one of the greatest upsets in football history. Portugal's dream had slipped away. As the celebrations began around him, Cristiano Ronaldo collapsed to the ground in tears. The image of the young winger crying after the final became one of the defining moments of Euro 2004. It was a painful lesson. Talent alone didn't guarantee success. Sometimes football could be cruel. But even in defeat, Ronaldo had achieved something incredibly important. The world had taken notice. He was selected in the team of the tournament. Fans across Europe now knew exactly who Cristiano Ronaldo was. And although Portugal had fallen just short of glory, Ronaldo left the competition with something even more valuable: belief. He now understood that he belonged on football's biggest stages. Returning to Manchester United, he was no longer simply a promising youngster. He had become one of the most exciting young players in world football. Yet Sir Alex Ferguson believed there was still another level waiting to be unlocked. The skills were already there. The speed was undeniable. The confidence was obvious. Now it was time to turn potential into greatness. And that transformation was about to begin. The transformation that Sir Alex Ferguson had been waiting for didn't happen overnight. It wasn't the result of one training session, one tactical change, or one unforgettable performance. It was built through failure, through criticism, and through lessons that Cristiano Ronaldo was forced to learn faster than almost any young footballer before him. By the summer of 2006, Ronaldo was no longer just another exciting prospect. He had already shown flashes of brilliance for Manchester United. He had become one of the Premier League's most entertaining players, and he had established himself as an important member of Portugal's national team. But despite all of that, there was still one criticism that followed him everywhere. People believed he cared more about looking spectacular than actually winning football matches. Every weekend, he would beat defenders with dazzling stepovers. He would produce moments that left crowds on their feet. But many pundits questioned whether he was truly effective. Sometimes he held onto the ball for too long. Sometimes he attempted one dribble too many. Sometimes he chose style over simplicity. Even some of his own teammates became frustrated. Manchester United had inherited David Beckham's famous number 7 shirt, and many supporters expected Ronaldo to immediately replace everything Beckham had offered. But they were completely different players. Beckham was precise, disciplined, and one of the greatest crossers football had ever seen. Ronaldo was unpredictable, explosive, always looking to beat another defender, always searching for the spectacular. Sir Alex Ferguson understood something that many people didn't. He knew Ronaldo didn't need less confidence. He simply needed better decision-making. The talent was already there. Now it had to mature. Then came Germany. The 2006 FIFA World Cup. Portugal arrived at the tournament with genuine ambitions, led by experienced players like Luis Figo, Deco, and Ricardo Carvalho, alongside an exciting new generation led by Cristiano Ronaldo. The tournament itself started positively. Ronaldo looked sharper than ever. His confidence continued to grow. Portugal advanced through the group stage before defeating the Netherlands in one of the most physical matches in World Cup history. That victory set up a quarter-final against England, a team filled with Premier League stars. Many of them were Ronaldo's own teammates: Wayne Rooney, Rio Ferdinand, Gary Neville, Paul Scholes, Michael Carrick. Players he trained alongside every single week. Everything was normal, until one incident changed the entire narrative. Midway through the match, Wayne Rooney became involved in a challenge with Ricardo Carvalho. As Rooney tried to free himself, he appeared to stamp on Carvalho. The Portuguese players immediately surrounded the referee. Cristiano Ronaldo was one of them, like almost every player would do while representing his country. He appealed for a decision. Moments later, the referee reached into his pocket and produced a red card. England were down to 10 men. Portugal eventually progressed after winning the penalty shootout. But the football itself quickly became secondary. Television cameras had caught something else. As Ronaldo walked away, he appeared to give a brief wink toward the Portuguese bench. That single image spread around the world within hours. English newspapers exploded. Headlines accused Ronaldo of getting his own teammate sent off. Fans believed he had manipulated the referee. To millions watching at home, that wink became the symbol of betrayal. Almost overnight, Ronaldo became the most disliked footballer in England. Newspapers, television shows, and radio stations all debated the incident, while reports claimed he wanted to leave Manchester United. Years later, both Ronaldo and Rooney explained there had never been any personal conflict. Rooney admitted that when players represent their countries, friendships are put aside for 90 minutes, and he understood Ronaldo's actions. Despite the truth, the criticism continued. Every away stadium booed Ronaldo, every mistake was heavily criticized, and the pressure was immense. Instead of letting the criticism break him, Ronaldo used it as motivation. He became obsessed with improving every part of his game. He built strength in the gym, perfected his finishing, free kicks, heading, speed, and overall fitness. Sir Alex Ferguson stood firmly behind him. He reassured Ronaldo that Old Trafford was his home and showed his faith by building Manchester United's future around the 21-year-old after Ruud van Nistelrooy's departure. The skinny teenager from Sporting CP transformed into a stronger, smarter, and more complete footballer. His tricks became purposeful, his finishing became clinical, and he evolved from an exciting entertainer into a true match winner. As the 2006 CR7 season began, the football world was about to witness a new Cristiano Ronaldo, one who was no longer chasing applause, but chasing greatness. Ronaldo responded by transforming himself. He built strength in the gym, improved his balance, speed, and finishing, and became much harder to stop. Mentally, he also matured, replacing unnecessary tricks with quicker decisions and more direct attacks. United's tactics evolved as well. Rooney dropped deeper, creating space for Ronaldo to move inside and attack the goal more often. That small tactical change transformed his career. The 2006-07 season marked the beginning of a new era. After 3 years without a Premier League title, Ferguson rebuilt the team around the 21-year-old Ronaldo instead of making expensive signings. With Van Nistelrooy gone, United's attack became more fluid. Rooney, Saha, and Ryan Giggs created space, while Ronaldo was given the freedom to drift inside, switch wings, and attack from anywhere. Behind the scenes, Ronaldo's work ethic reached another level. He stayed after training to practice free kicks, shooting, headers, and his weaker foot, while continuing to improve his strength and speed. The results were immediate. Ronaldo became more efficient, scored more goals, and turned into Manchester United's biggest attacking threat. As United battled Chelsea for the title, his performances kept improving. By the end of the season, Manchester United had won the Premier League for the first time since 2003. Ronaldo scored over 20 goals in all competitions and won both the PFA Players Player of the Year and PFA Young Player of the Year awards, confirming his rise to world-class status. He reassured him that Manchester United still believed in him. One difficult tournament would not change the club's plans. In fact, Manchester United were preparing to place even more responsibility on his shoulders. That same summer, Ruud van Nistelrooy left for Real Madrid, ending an era. Instead of signing another star striker, Sir Alex Ferguson trusted his young squad and believed the 21-year-old Ronaldo was ready to become the team's main attacking player. Ronaldo transformed himself physically and mentally. He became stronger, faster, more direct, and focused on scoring rather than entertaining. Rooney's deeper role also created space for Ronaldo to attack closer to goal. The 2006-07 season marked a new era. United rebuilt around Ronaldo, whose relentless training improved his finishing, heading, free kicks, strength, and speed. His performances helped Manchester United win their first Premier League title since 2003, while he scored over 20 goals and won both the PFA Players Player of the Year and Young Player of the Year awards. Despite those achievements, Ronaldo wanted more. Before the 2007-08 season, he trained even harder, improving every detail of his game. Manchester United also signed Carlos Tevez, whose partnership with Rooney gave Ronaldo more freedom and helped form one of Europe's most dangerous attacks. Ronaldo's mentality changed completely. His first instinct was no longer to beat defenders, it was to score. By the middle of the season, he was producing one of the greatest campaigns English football had seen. He finished with 31 Premier League goals, won the Golden Boot, and helped Manchester United reclaim the league title. In the Champions League, his goals led United to the final against Chelsea. Although he missed his penalty in the shootout, John Terry slipped with Chelsea's winning kick, and Edwin van der Sar's save secured Manchester United's third European Cup. Ronaldo finished the season with the Premier League Golden Boot, Champions League Top Scorer Award, PFA Players Player of the Year, FWA Footballer of the Year, UEFA Club Footballer of the Year, the Ballon d'Or, and the FIFA World Player of the Year award. At just 23, he was officially recognized as the best footballer in the world. For most players, that would have been enough. For Ronaldo, it was only another step. Despite all his success, speculation about Real Madrid never disappeared. Manchester United refused to sell him, and Sir Alex Ferguson convinced Ronaldo to stay for one more season. Although defenders focused heavily on stopping him, Ronaldo remained United's biggest threat. He scored important goals, moved into more central positions, and continued evolving from a winger into a complete forward. Manchester United reached another Champions League final, where they faced Pep Guardiola's Barcelona and Lionel Messi. United started well, but Barcelona took control. Goals from Samuel Eto'o and Lionel Messi secured a 2-0 victory, ending United's reign as European champions. Only weeks later, Florentino Perez returned as Real Madrid president and made Ronaldo his top target. After negotiations, Madrid signed him for a world record $80 million transfer fee. Ronaldo left Manchester United after 6 unforgettable seasons, winning 3 Premier League titles, 1 FA Cup, 2 League Cups, the UEFA Champions League, the FIFA Club World Cup, and his first Ballon d'Or. More importantly, he had transformed from a talented teenager into the best player in the world. On the 6th July 2009, more than 80,000 fans welcomed Ronaldo to the Santiago Bernabeu. He had conquered England, but now faced the challenge of proving his world record price while competing against Barcelona. Real Madrid built a new Galacticos team around him, adding Kaká, Karim Benzema, and Xabi Alonso. Ronaldo arrived stronger, faster, and more confident, but adapting to La Liga required a different style of play. He made an immediate impact, scoring on his debut against Deportivo La Coruña and setting a club record by scoring in his first 5 league matches. However, an ankle injury suffered after a Champions League match against Marseille kept him out for nearly 2 months, forcing him to watch from the sidelines as Barcelona continued their dominance. That Barcelona side was unlike anything football had seen. Under Pep Guardiola, every pass and movement was perfectly coordinated, with Lionel Messi at the heart of it. The debate had changed. It was no longer whether Ronaldo would become the world's best. It was Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi. Every goal, trophy, and Ballon d'Or added another chapter to football's greatest rivalry. Fans, players, and managers across the world constantly compared the two. Back in Madrid, Ronaldo returned from injury and resumed scoring immediately. But despite his brilliance, Real Madrid couldn't match Barcelona's teamwork. Guardiola's side had a clear identity, while Manuel Pellegrini's Madrid was still searching for theirs. That gap became obvious in Ronaldo's first El Clásico on 29 November 2009. Barcelona controlled the game, and Zlatan Ibrahimovic's second-half goal secured a 1-0 victory. It showed that Madrid had world-class stars, but Barcelona were the better team. Ronaldo still finished his debut season with 33 goals, despite missing weeks through injury. Yet Madrid were knocked out of the Champions League by Lyon and finished 3 points behind Barcelona in La Liga, ending the season without a major trophy. Florentino Perez wanted change. Pellegrini was replaced by Jose Mourinho, fresh from winning the Champions League with Inter Milan. His mission was simple: stop Barcelona. Mourinho knew Madrid couldn't copy Barcelona's possession style, so he built a faster, more direct team, perfect for Ronaldo. Instead of creating every attack, Ronaldo focused on finishing them. He moved into central areas, making deadly runs into the box where his movement and finishing became his greatest weapons. With Mesut Ozil providing precise passes, Angel Di Maria stretching defenses, Karim Benzema linking play, and Xabi Alonso controlling midfield, Madrid's attacks were built to find Ronaldo. His crosses decreased, his touches in the penalty area increased, and he evolved from a winger into a complete goalscorer. The 2010-11 season began with a new mentality. Madrid defended harder, attacked faster, and almost every move ended with Ronaldo near goal. Ozil's vision and Ronaldo's perfectly timed runs formed one of football's most dangerous partnerships, making him even harder to stop. That Barcelona side was unlike anything football had seen. Under Pep Guardiola, every movement and pass was perfectly coordinated, with Lionel Messi at the heart of it. By then, football's biggest debate had changed. It was no longer whether Ronaldo would become the world's best. It was Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi. Every goal, trophy, and Ballon d'Or fueled a rivalry that captivated fans, players, and managers across the world for more than a decade. Back in Madrid, Ronaldo returned from injury and started scoring immediately. But despite his brilliance, Real Madrid couldn't keep up with Barcelona. The difference wasn't talent, it was teamwork. Guardiola's system was already perfected, while Manuel Pellegrini's Madrid was still searching for its identity. That gap became clear in Ronaldo's first El Clásico on 29 November 2009. Barcelona dominated possession, and Zlatan Ibrahimovic's second-half goal secured a 1-0 win at the Santiago Bernabeu. It showed the difference between a team of stars and a complete team. Ronaldo still finished his debut season with 33 goals, despite missing several weeks through injury, but Madrid suffered another Champions League round of 16 exit against Lyon and finished 3 points behind Barcelona in La Liga, with 96 points to Barcelona's 99. For Florentino Perez, second place wasn't acceptable. Pellegrini was replaced by Jose Mourinho, fresh from winning the Champions League with Inter Milan. His mission was simple: stop Barcelona. Knowing Madrid couldn't match Barcelona's possession game, Mourinho built a faster, more direct team. It perfectly suited Ronaldo. Instead of staying wide, Ronaldo drifted into central areas, focusing on movement, timing, and finishing rather than dribbling. Mourinho wanted him to finish attacks, not create everyone. With Mesut Ozil providing precise through balls, Angel Di Maria stretching defenses, Karim Benzema linking play, and Xabi Alonso controlling midfield, nearly every attack was designed to find Ronaldo in or around the penalty area. The change transformed him into an even deadlier goal scorer. His touches inside the box increased, his crosses decreased, and his evolution from winger to complete forward accelerated. His shooting improved dramatically. He was no longer just a traditional winger, he had become a complete forward. It was one of the smartest tactical transformations of his career. The flashy youngster known for endless stepovers was fading. By 2010, Cristiano Ronaldo cared about one thing above all else: scoring goals. José Mourinho's influence was immediate. Real Madrid played with greater intensity, defended with discipline, and attacked at lightning speed. Ronaldo remained listed as a left winger, but in reality, he appeared wherever he could hurt opponents most, drifting inside, running behind defenders, and constantly finding dangerous positions. Mourinho wanted Ronaldo closer to goal instead of wasting energy defending or crossing. More time in the penalty area meant more shots, and more shots meant more goals. Ronaldo was becoming the deadliest finisher in world football. The arrival of Mesut Ozil accelerated that transformation. The German playmaker's vision was exceptional, and Ronaldo quickly built a brilliant partnership with him. The moment Ozil received the ball, Ronaldo was already making his run. Defenders were often a split second too late. Angel Di Maria stretched defenses with his pace. Marcelo's overlapping runs gave Ronaldo freedom to cut inside, and Karim Benzema's intelligent movement created space by dragging defenders away. Together, they formed one of Europe's most dangerous attacks. By mid-season, Ronaldo was scoring at an unbelievable rate. Hat tricks became routine, and even difficult matches often ended with him on the score sheet. His heading also reached another level. It wasn't just his height, it was his timing, incredible leap, and powerful neck muscles. Sports scientists later found his jumps rivaled those of professional basketball players, making him nearly unstoppable in the air. His famous knuckleball free kicks remained a major weapon. Every foul near the penalty area created excitement, as fans believed something special could happen. But Ronaldo's greatest strength was his mentality. Pressure motivated him. Criticism only fueled his determination. Training sessions became fierce competitions because losing, even in simple drills, was unacceptable to him. If he scored once, he wanted two. If he scored two, he wanted three. As the season progressed, Real Madrid's rivalry with Barcelona reached another level. It was no longer just Mourinho versus Guardiola. It had become Cristiano Ronaldo versus Lionel Messi. Every weekend, both stars seemed determined to outdo each other, turning goals, assists, hat tricks, and records into part of football's greatest debate. Despite the comparisons, Ronaldo remained focused on one goal: bringing trophies to Real Madrid. To build his legacy in Spain, he first had to overcome the biggest challenge in world football: Pep Guardiola's Barcelona. The 2010-11 season delivered one of the greatest El Clasico rivalries ever. Barcelona first crushed Real Madrid 5-0 in La Liga, exposing Mourinho's tactics. But months later, Madrid returned stronger in the Copa del Rey final. After a tense goalless 90 minutes, Angel Di Maria crossed into the box in extra time. Ronaldo rose above Adriano and powered a header past José Manuel Pinto to give Madrid a 1-0 victory. It was his first major trophy with Real Madrid and proved Barcelona could be beaten. Days later, they met again in the Champions League semi-finals. A controversial red card for Pepe changed the tie, and Lionel Messi's 2 goals gave Barcelona a 2-0 first-leg win. The second leg ended 1-1, sending Barcelona to the final. Although Madrid fell short in Europe, Mourinho believed the gap between the two teams had narrowed significantly. Ronaldo's individual season was extraordinary. He finished with 53 goals in all competitions, including a record 40 La Liga goals in a 38-game season. He won both the Pichichi Trophy and his second European Golden Shoe. The transformation was complete. Once famous for dazzling defenders with skill, Cristiano Ronaldo had become football's most feared goal scorer. Or from a cross into the penalty area, Ronaldo always looked capable of scoring. Despite finishing as La Liga's top scorer, Barcelona retained the title once again. Individual records meant little to Ronaldo. He wanted trophies, the Champions League, and to restore Real Madrid as Europe's best club. In the summer of 2011, José Mourinho strengthened the squad with Rafael Varane, Fabio Coentrão, and José Callejon, while keeping the core of Casillas, Sergio Ramos, Pepe, Marcelo, Xabi Alonso, Ozil, Di Maria, Benzema, and Ronaldo together. After a full season under Mourinho, the team understood his demanding system perfectly. Counterattacks became faster, the defense became stronger, and every player knew his role. Their mission was clear: end Barcelona's dominance. Ronaldo had also evolved into a complete forward. His pace, finishing, and aerial ability remained world-class, but his intelligent movement without the ball became one of his greatest weapons. He studied defenders, timed his runs perfectly, and constantly found space before anyone else. The 2011-12 season became one of the greatest of his career. Barcelona were still considered the world's best team under Pep Guardiola, but Mourinho built Madrid around intensity, discipline, and ruthless counterattacks. Ronaldo became the center of every attack, supported by Marcelo, Di Maria, Mesut Ozil's brilliant passing, and Karim Benzema's intelligent movement. Madrid quickly became unstoppable, regularly scoring 4 or 5 goals a game. Behind Ronaldo's incredible performances was his unmatched dedication, recovery sessions, sprint training, nutrition, and constant self-analysis. No matter the opponent, he kept scoring with either foot, his head, or from long range. Meanwhile, Lionel Messi continued producing unbelievable numbers, making every weekend another chapter in football's greatest rivalry. Both players pushed each other to historic levels. The title race reached its turning point at Camp Nou. After Sami Khedira's opener and Alexis Sanchez's equalizer, Mesut Ozil found Ronaldo with a perfect through ball. Ronaldo calmly finished past Victor Valdés before delivering his famous Calma celebration. It became one of the most iconic moments in El Clásico history and symbolized Real Madrid's rise over Barcelona. Weeks later, Madrid won La Liga with a record 100 points and 121 league goals. Ronaldo scored 46 league goals, while Messi finished with 50. Although he missed the Pichichi Trophy, winning the league meant far more. Real Madrid were champions again. Only one dream remained: winning the Champions League. In the semi-finals, Madrid faced Bayern Munich. Bayern won the first leg 2-1, despite Ronaldo scoring after helping create Madrid's equalizer. At the Bernabeu, Ronaldo scored 2 early penalties to erase Bayern's advantage, but Arjen Robben equalized from the spot. Neither team could find another goal, and the tie went to penalties. For the second straight year, Real Madrid's Champions League dream would be decided in a shootout. Cristiano Ronaldo stepped forward first. Few players had taken bigger penalties in their careers, but this time, everything was about to change. Manuel Neuer guessed Ronaldo's penalty correctly. The save proved costly. Kaká also missed, and although Xabi Alonso scored, Bayern Munich advanced after Sergio Ramos blasted his penalty over the bar. The Bernabeu fell silent. It was another heartbreaking Champions League exit for Ronaldo. 4 years earlier, he had missed a penalty in the 2008 Champions League final before Manchester United recovered to lift the trophy. Now, another miss had helped end Madrid's European dream. But setbacks never defined Ronaldo. They fueled him. That summer, Portugal entered UEFA Euro 2012 in the feared Group of Death alongside Germany, the Netherlands, and Denmark. After losing narrowly to Germany, many doubted Portugal's chances. Ronaldo answered on the pitch. Portugal defeated Denmark 3-2 before Ronaldo produced one of the finest international performances of his career against the Netherlands, scoring twice in a 2-1 victory that secured qualification. In the quarter-finals against the Czech Republic, Portugal dominated but struggled to score until João Moutinho delivered a cross that Ronaldo powered home with a towering header, sending his country into the semi-finals for the second consecutive major tournament. There, they faced defending world and European champions Spain. After 120 tense minutes without a goal, the match went to penalties. Ronaldo was selected as Portugal's fifth taker, hoping to take the decisive kick. But Portugal missed 2 penalties before his turn arrived. Standing at the halfway line, he never even touched the ball as Spain advanced. The decision to place him fifth sparked huge debate. But one fact remained undeniable. Ronaldo had carried Portugal far beyond expectations. By the start of the 2012-13 season, Ronaldo had already established himself among football's biggest stars. Defending champions Real Madrid struggled to keep pace with Tito Villanova's Barcelona, but Ronaldo's performances reached another level. He had become the complete attacker, dangerous with either foot, dominant in the air, deadly from distance, and unmatched in his movement. Constantly studying defenders and timing his runs perfectly, he created chances before the ball even arrived. His partnership with Mesut Ozil flourished, while Karim Benzema's intelligent movement created space for him to exploit. Ronaldo soon achieved another remarkable milestone by scoring against every La Liga opponent he had faced. Although Barcelona pulled away in the title race, Real Madrid turned their attention toward the Champions League. In the round of 16, Ronaldo would face Manchester United for the first time since leaving Old Trafford, the club where he had become a global superstar. It would become one of the most emotional nights of his career. Wayne Rooney and several familiar faces welcomed Ronaldo back into one of the most emotional Champions League ties of his career. The first leg at the Santiago Bernabeu ended 1-1. Danny Welbeck gave Manchester United the lead before Ronaldo equalized with a towering header. Out of respect for his former club, he chose not to celebrate. Everything was decided at Old Trafford. United took the lead through an own goal and looked in control until Nani's controversial red card changed the match. Luka Modric equalized with a stunning long-range strike before Gonzalo Higuain crossed for Ronaldo to score the winner. Once again, he refused to celebrate, raising both hands in respect to the Manchester United supporters who had helped shape his career. After the match, Sir Alex Ferguson embraced Ronaldo, a moment that symbolized their enduring relationship. Real Madrid reached another Champions League semi-final but faced Borussia Dortmund, led by Jurgen Klopp. The first leg became unforgettable as Robert Lewandowski scored 4 goals in a crushing 4-1 victory. Madrid fought back in the return leg with late goals from Karim Benzema and Sergio Ramos, but Dortmund survived to win 4-3 on aggregate. Mourinho's final season ended in disappointment. Despite winning 1 La Liga title, 1 Copa del Rey, and reaching 3 consecutive Champions League semi-finals, the European Cup remained out of reach. He left Madrid that summer to return to Chelsea. His successor, Carlo Ancelotti, transformed Ronaldo's role. Instead of asking him to defend or remain on the wing, Ancelotti gave him complete freedom to attack, allowing him to play closer to goal where he was most dangerous. The arrival of Gareth Bale created the famous BBC trio alongside Karim Benzema. Bale brought pace, Benzema sacrificed himself with intelligent movement, and Ronaldo finished chances with ruthless consistency. Supported by Luka Modric, Xabi Alonso, and Angel Di Maria, Madrid looked stronger than ever. Ronaldo's anticipation inside the penalty area reached another level. Rather than reacting to crosses, he predicted where they would arrive before anyone else. Combined with Ancelotti's tactical freedom, it marked the beginning of the most successful period of Cristiano Ronaldo's legendary career. In reality, many of Ronaldo's goals were created long before the final touch. Through his intelligent movement and positioning, the Champions League remained Real Madrid's ultimate objective. The club had spent over a decade chasing La Decima, their long-awaited 10th European Cup. Carlo Ancelotti, a 2-time Champions League winner with AC Milan, brought calm and experience to a squad carrying enormous pressure. Madrid cruised through the group stage before eliminating Schalke and gaining revenge on Borussia Dortmund in the quarterfinals. In the semi-finals, they faced defending champions Bayern Munich, managed by Pep Guardiola. After Karim Benzema secured a narrow 1-0 first-leg win, Madrid produced one of their greatest European performances in Munich. Sergio Ramos scored twice before. Ronaldo struck twice on the counter-attack and from a free kick, sealing a stunning 4-0 victory. His goals equaled the record for the most goals in a single Champions League season and sent Madrid to their first final in 12 years. Awaiting them was Atletico Madrid in a historic all-Spanish final, with La Decima finally within reach. Winning the 10th European Cup marked the beginning of Ronaldo's greatest era. Instead of slowing down after turning 30, he reinvented himself into a complete penalty box striker. His movement, timing, and finishing became even more deadly, helping him score over 50 goals season after season. He delivered unforgettable Champions League performances, including a hat-trick against Wolfsburg, 5 goals over 2 legs against Bayern Munich, another hat-trick against Atletico Madrid, and his unforgettable bicycle kick against Juventus that earned applause from the home crowd. Under Zinedine Zidane, Real Madrid won 3 consecutive Champions League titles, with Ronaldo leading the way and breaking countless European scoring records. By 2018, Ronaldo had scored more than 450 goals for Real Madrid and established himself as the club's greatest goal scorer. Yet after 9 unforgettable years, he shocked the football world by leaving Spain for Juventus. Determined to prove himself once again in Italy's demanding Serie A, he accepted the challenge. Cristiano Ronaldo arrived at Juventus in 2018, determined to prove his success wasn't tied to one club or one league. After conquering England and Spain, he embraced the challenge of Serie A. Despite its reputation for tactical defending, Ronaldo adapted quickly, winning 2 Serie A titles, becoming the league's top scorer, and scoring over 100 goals in just 3 seasons. In 2021, he made an emotional return to Manchester United, where his rise to superstardom had begun. Old Trafford welcomed him home, and he scored twice on his second debut against Newcastle United. Although United struggled as a team, Ronaldo finished as their top scorer before both sides agreed to part ways. At the 2022 FIFA World Cup, Ronaldo became the first men's player to score in 5 different World Cups, but Portugal's dream ended in the quarterfinals against Morocco. His emotional walk off the pitch became one of the defining images of the tournament. Soon afterward, Ronaldo joined Al Nassr in Saudi Arabia. While some questioned the move, he continued scoring, helped raise the league's global profile, and inspired several world-class players to follow. Even in his late 30s, he remained Portugal's leader while moving closer to the incredible milestone of 1,000 career goals. Whether he reaches that number or not, Ronaldo's legacy was secured long ago. He succeeded in England, Spain, Italy, and on the international stage, constantly adapting his game from an exciting winger into one of football's greatest goal scorers. But his greatness was never built on talent alone. It came from relentless discipline. He trained longer than everyone else, obsessed over recovery, nutrition, fitness, and constantly searched for ways to improve. Every setback, every criticism, and every defeat became fuel to work even harder. His willingness to evolve separated him from almost everyone else. As his pace declined, his movement, positioning, and finishing became even sharper. He reinvented himself repeatedly while maintaining world-class standards for more than 2 decades. That is why Cristiano Ronaldo's influence extends far beyond goals and trophies. He changed how footballers train, recover, and prepare mentally for competition. His career proved that lasting greatness is built through consistency, sacrifice, and an unshakable belief in constant improvement. Perhaps that is the real secret behind Cristiano Ronaldo's career. Not simply that he dreamed bigger than everyone else, but that he worked for those dreams longer than almost anyone else. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.